it really angers me that so many people have either mistyped themselves or been mistyped by other people because of all these unfounded, divisive prejudices and biases. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today's video is more of an opinion piece / rant in response to some specific comments I got from my last video regarding how I typed Johnny Depp as an INFJ. Initially, I was going to do a video explaining how I typed Johnny Depp as an INFJ just to defend the attacks that I got. But then I realized that there was actually a more important message to highlight first. So in my last video, I typed Johnny Depp as an INFJ, and the way I type is by speech patterns. I specifically look at how someone responds to questions in real time and how they express their answers. And I'm very aware that there are many different ways and approaches to typing a person. I mean, personality type is still a soft science, and I'm very welcoming of rational and intelligent debates on what a person's type is. I've actually done a video correcting myself when I've realized that I've typed someone wrong before. But the kind of comments that I got this time round was something else. It turns out that Johnny Depp is some sort of poster boy for the INFP type in certain type communities. And it was seen as very offensive that I dared to say he was anything else. And what surprised me was the amount of anger and aggression attached to these comments I got. I was called extremely incompetent, among other nastier insults. But there was never any context as to why Johnny Depp is an INFP or why I've typed him wrong. The only context or justification I was given was that he was a very obvious INFP, or that the person attacking me says that they are an INFP themselves and therefore they should know. On top of that, most of the comments were from people who obviously didn't watch my video at all. And I've never had this level of emotion attached to, comments I get on social media. Especially when you think that, none of us actually know Johnny Depp personally. I mean, I don't know him. I'm just typing him as objectively as I can from interview clips he's done. So it made me wonder, why are they so angry? Why for them does Johnny Depp have to be INFP or whatever type, to the point that there is no room for discussion? I felt like it was Johnny Depp's INFP, you're an idiot, it's so obvious, end of, you're cancelled. Coincidentally, the most vicious feedback I got were from certain MBTI groups that were labeled as an INFP group or an INFJ group. So basically people who identified themselves as INFP or INFJ. And when I tried to defend how I typed Johnny Depp, the responses I got were like, here's a stupid censor. Censors won't ever understand intuitives. Which highlights how there is this unfounded elitism behind labeling oneself as intuitive or an N-dominant type. So these people, I think, are attached to a certain narrative of their life, and they resonate with some part of Johnny Depp that is portrayed in the media. A complex, deep thinking, yet misunderstood soul. And they want to believe that they are like Johnny Depp, that they resonate with him. because they want to believe that they are as special and yet misunderstood. Perhaps that would explain why they feel lonely, why they feel unaccepted, unloved, when they feel like they deserve to be loved and adored. Therefore, if I shifted the narrative or the identity of Johnny Depp, that would mean the shifting of their narrative and identity. So therefore, they need Johnny Depp to be a certain type, in this case the INFP, because they need themselves to be a certain personality type. And this all stems from this extremely unhealthy and unfounded hierarchy that the MBTI personality type community has, ranking types from best to worst. Who's more special and who's more basic? Who's interesting and who's boring? Who's deep and insightful and who's dumb and shallow? And you can sense these judgments and prejudices from the annoyingly generic descriptions of the types on a lot of MBTI websites. And there is no basis for this class system because there is value in all 16 types. We all have our own strengths, weaknesses, and unique preferences. Each type has their own dominant functions, lower functions, blind spots, and no one is superhuman and no one is completely useless either. Mother Nature has that sorted out. It is all very fair and balanced, and we actually all need each other. We need to cover each other's backs. But obviously, some functions and certain qualities are favored according to societal values of the time. More importantly, this elitist system in the MBTI community actually stops people from focusing on what's important, which in my opinion is the truth of who you really are. You are who you are, despite how far it is from what you think is ideal or what you deem as the type that would win you the most love. It is only by working with yourself that you stop struggling, that you stop feeling bad for things that aren't meant to be your strengths, and you start feeling good and utilizing what you were given, your actual strengths, that very few others have. It is only self-awareness and self-acceptance that brings ultimate inner peace. But with this elitist, divisive class system in personality type, it creates so much bias and prejudice that one of either two things happen. So it either makes people mistype themselves as something they consider better, but then they never really feel that they live up to it internally. And this creates insecurity, which they then tend to overcompensate by being very defensive and reactive towards any perceived threat to their identity. Or it makes people unnecessarily feel ashamed about what type they are, who they really are, just because some loud, unqualified, low self-esteem bullies claim that they are better than everyone else. Everyone has their value, and I really believe in that. It's why I love the personality type system that I use, and it is why I do what I do. And it really angers me that so many people have either mistyped themselves or been mistyped by other people because of all these unfounded, divisive prejudices and biases. Thank you for listening. Sorry it was a bit of a rant, but I do feel it's an important message. and I'll see you in the next video.